Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are in Unit 7, Transformation, page 33, Review of Rotations. So let's make this a little bigger and take a look at it. This is the original A, B, C. And this, A prime, B prime, the B is missing, but here should be B prime. Oh, it's way over there. That's kind of weird. All right, so this is the first rotation. And as you can see, it is counterclockwise 90 degrees. In other words, this whole thing has been rotated 90 degrees about the origin. And this one down here, which I'm going to highlight, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, down here is 180 degree rotation. And that's that. So let's write the coordinates of all of these points right here on the graph. And we'll start with this one, A, which is at 1, 2. And B is at 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is at 3, 8. And C, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and up 2. So there's all my points. Now let's take a look at the first rotation. A prime is now at -2, +1. And B is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, -8, +3. And C prime is at -2, +5. All right. Now back down here. Oh, let's just put highlights around where the new coordinates are going to be. That way it's, easier to see. So A double prime is at -1, -2. And B double prime is at -3, -8. And C double prime is at -5, -2. Okay, so you can see what happened to the coordinates as we rotated them. Let's just look at A to start with. It was 1, 2, and then X and Y switched and we negated the Y. And then to do 180 degrees, well, they're in the same order as the original, but we negated both the X and the Y. So let's take a look over here and we'll just organize all that information on here. So let's start with the original points, which were 1, 2, and 3, 8, and 5, 2. And then for A prime, when we did the rotation of 90 degrees, they switched and we negated the Y. So -2, +1, -8, +3, -2, +5. So switch them, negate the Y. So the rule for 90 degrees is going to be to switch them, and we are going to keep the X but negate the Y. So the rule, let's write it here. Switch the X and Y, then negate the Y. And you remember that negate does not mean make negative. Negate means to change the sign. So if it was negative before, you would make it positive. All right. So then down here, la 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 la. We'll do that in a minute. Back up top. So what happened for 180 degrees? Well, you keep them in the same order as the original, but you negate them both. So -1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 8, negative 5, negative 2. So you just negate both coordinates. So write that down here. Negate both coordinates. And that's that. So here, first I'm going to write it, I'm going to take the rule from above. So 90 degrees was x and y, and you switch them and negate the y. So negative y, but you keep the sign of the x. So if I switch them and negate them, the y, I would get negative 4, positive 2. And next time I should give myself more room to write. All right, given the coordinates of b prime, the image of b after a counterclockwise rotation of 90 degrees. So that's this rule right here, where I had x and y, and it became negative y and x. So here I have b, which is at negative 2, 3, and I'm going to switch them and make the y negative. So I'll have negative 3, but the x keeps its sign, negative 2. And that is, since I forgot to write it, b prime. Those are the coordinates for b prime. All right, how about this one? What are the coordinates of p prime, the image of p, after a counterclockwise rotation of 180 degrees? So that was this highlighty one. So let's do some highlightiness here, because, you know, I like highlighting. So I started with x and y, and it became negative x and negative y. Now remember, that's not negative, it's negate. I said the wrong word. So we have p, which is at negative 2, 4, and it's going to go to when you negate negative 2, it becomes positive 2. When you negate 4, it becomes negative 4. So you change both the signs to get p prime. Ooh, that rhymed. Okay. Write the coordinates of the image of the point 1, 5 under a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. Ooh, well, that's not right here. Remember, clockwise is the same as 270 counterclockwise. So that's what I'm going to do. You would start with x and y, and 90 degrees clockwise is the same as 270 counterclockwise. So you keep the y, but now you switch them. Well, you switch them, but then you keep the y and you negate the x. So we're going to switch the coordinates and negate the x. So we have 1, 5, switch them to get 5, and that 1 becomes negative 1. So you, for 270 or 90 clockwise, it would be switch and negate the x. And this one is a rotation 90 degrees counterclockwise. That's the normal way. I like counterclockwise. So we start with x and y, and to go 90 degrees, you switch them and negate the y. So you would have negative y and x. And if you think I don't look these up just to double check, you're wrong. I know I look things up all the time. And I have negative 1, 3, and I'm going to switch them, and the 3 becomes negative 3, and the x stays negative x. Okay, so that's not too bad. That was rotation. I'll talk to you soon.